afternoon.
Let me take a moment just to welcome everyone today. It's a very exciting opportunity for the Department of Planning as well as for Baltimore County, sort of in recognition of the tremendous work that's gone into Master Plan 2030. Madam Secretary, Mr. County Executive, my delegate, Kathy Forbes, my councilman, Mike Bertel, and Councilman Patoka, thank you very much for joining us today. It's, like I said, it's truly an honor and a privilege to not only be here, but also to be with leaders such as the County Executive and the Secretary. So it's my honor and privilege now to introduce Secretary of Maryland Department of Planning, Rebecca Flora. Secretary Flora.
Thank you all. Happy rainy Friday. Wow. You know, there it is. It's good. And December 1st, right? So thank you all for coming together. We really wanted to make this offer to come out into the communities and celebrate the great work that's going on. And I'm just always excited to get out here and see people and do all of that. So I do have a few remarks just to help those that may be new to what we're doing or why we're here. To share with you a little bit about the awards, summarize what is an amazing amount of work that was done here, and hopefully really celebrate and elevate the good work here. So thank you for being here. I am truly honored. This is my first year as Secretary of Planning, Maryland Department of Planning, and it's been a real learning experience, but I am a planner. I am an AICP planner, and I have been one for a lot of years. So I do fully, directly appreciate and know the hard work that goes into this profession and what's being done. So I really want to welcome anyone else that's here for this, to really just acknowledge the folks and the work that's being done. Because I also know that as a planner, sometimes it doesn't always get acknowledged. We sort of just chug in, chug away, get the hard work done, and people don't always know about it. But let me tell you a little bit about the Growth Awards. They are the highest level of recognition for well-planned community and economic development and sustainability in the state of Maryland. In total, there are 6 recipients this year that will be celebrated over the course of the next few weeks. And I and others from the department, today we have Chuck Boyd, our Assistant Secretary of Planning, and I think some of you may know him very well, and I am so grateful that Chuck is still with the Department of Planning. We also have Andrew Wilson, who's our legislative liaison, here with us today, and really wanted to make sure we bring folks out with us to meet you all. But basically, we do have 3 different awards. I'm going to go through each of those categories and basically share with folks what this is about a little bit, just to acquaint you all. But we're excited about this tradition of honoring people and projects in small towns and big cities. Projects that demonstrate the creativity and resourcefulness of our communities and commitment towards conservation and preservation of Maryland's natural resources. This whole challenge we have of all of this balancing, which is what sustainability is really about. How do you balance good growth, our economics, our environmental, and ensure that we're as inclusive as possible and that everyone is coming along with us, as the governor has said. It's about leave no one behind. So the recipients in Baltimore County, what I love is it's such a great example of best practices. One of the things I want to do as secretary is really promote and highlight and bring best practices to the state of Maryland. And so we're going to be doing a lot of things, which we won't go all into today, but this is just a shining example that we can now be pointing to of what we need to be doing out there in the communities to strengthen and revitalize our communities. The process for these awards, which I need to acknowledge the people involved in that, started with a broad outreach to ensure that we reached out to anybody and everybody that might want to be part of this or felt that they were doing great work. We have 3 different categories. The Leadership and Service Award. It's presented to individuals and organizations for leadership and service to advance the public's appreciation, understanding, and involvement in promoting smart growth and sustainable communities at the local, regional, and state level. The Preservation and Conservation Award, presented to public or private projects that demonstrate outstanding achievement and serve examples of smart growth that should be emulated throughout the state. And then the Sustainable Community Awards, presented to public or private projects that demonstrate outstanding achievement and serve as examples of smart growth that should be emulated. I think I just said that. What I skipped over was the Preservation Conservation Award, presented to individuals and organizations for their accomplishments in protecting or improving farms, forests, natural resources, and the waters of Maryland. Planning department recruited a committee of professional planners. We don't just get in a corner with staff and decide this. We actually have a peer group that reviews these. And they went through and evaluated. We're appreciative of their time that went into the review that occurred back in August. And I want to give a special thanks to them, the selection committee, Charles Rice, Jenny Jakowski, Catherine Munson, Miguel Salinas, Tamara Blake Wallace, Lori Carter, and Katie Parks for taking the time to review all of this year's nominations and provide their recommendations. All of those then came to me for the final vetting and concurrence with their recommendations, and I concurred with everything that they came forward with, and here we are today. So, on to Baltimore, and a little bit about your project, if you didn't know it already, but for those that may be listening or know we're taping, this is really, truly pretty exciting. This is really innovative. It's a GIS-based tool called Retrofit Mapping. The subject of this Sustainable Growth Award for leadership, and basically they did that as part of their 2030 master planning process. Baltimore County staff asked the essential question planners always ask, which is what do we want, in this case, our county to look like in the future? It's always a fun question to ask, and there's a lot of scenarios these days that we have to consider because things are happening so fast around us. But a reoccurring themes emerged from the meetings with the community: revitalizing commercial corridors, improving walkability with pedestrian-oriented infrastructure, renovating public facilities such as schools, recreation centers, parks, and green spaces, and creating diverse transportation and housing options to meet the needs of a changing population. Yeah, no big deal. A lot of things we all hear about, right? In an ideal world, those are things I think everybody at the heart really wants for their communities, and the public process, I think, is just a great way of really, I think, hearing that, learning, listening, understanding priorities. 3,800 public comments. Wow, that's impressive, which means you had a really strong public process also to get that level of comments, and that people really believed in the process. And that was the individual feedback that went to the Division of Research, Analysis, and Design, RAD, so your acronym for that, which turned responses into data. That was criteria used to develop the mapping algorithm. This is where it gets fun. And the tools that are out there these days. The resulting retrofit mapping tool reflects on-the-ground conditions, functions as a centerpiece as the county's draft master plan, a new approach to growth, master plan 2030. And I even love that title. The world's changing so fast around us. The old way of doing these things just isn't going to work anymore. We have to be adaptive and nimble as we move forward. So even just how you're naming and approaching your plan really speaks to that. Food deserts, pedestrian safety, and mobility were some of the top issues identified. The RAD staff mapped the related criteria. Weighted points were assigned to the GIS map layers, which were grouped into demographic, economic, and other categories and overlaid on one another. The highest scoring areas, named core retrofit areas, have informed a new place types map through strategic analysis. Retrofit mapping arrives at a critical juncture for the county, which has nearly exhausted land available for new development inside its urban-rural demarcation line, URDL. The URDL has functioned as the county's growth management tool, dividing it into urban and rural areas since 1967. That's impressive. I know I've worked with the Transect, and the ability to really acknowledge and reflect the fact that there are different types of communities all along that transect, I think, is really critical. Public sentiment and professional opinion alike maintain that opening up URDL to conventional development would be short-sighted and fail to meaningfully address the county's needs and challenges. Analysis performed through the innovative retrofit mapping tool affirms the intent behind the URDL, ensuring it will continue to shape future zoning, land use, and infrastructure decisions. Additionally, this is what I love, it is adaptable by any planning entity or jurisdiction looking to advance similar smart growth, sustainable community, and redevelopment efforts. So we now have a model that can be used statewide, which is fabulous. For the success and the potential of the retrofit mapping tool, the Maryland Department of Planning extends its congratulations to the Baltimore County Department of Planning for winning a 2023 Growth Award, Sustainable Growth Award in the leadership category. With that, I'd like whoever's accepting that award to come up and let me give that to you. We'll have our big moment. And that is on you directly. Here's your accommodation. We'll in on this, but thank you. Thank you all. Great work to the team. Thank you. I mean, this is really important to be taking the risk, and county executive for you all to be, enabling and empowering this group to move forward with you in exciting ways that I think would be helpful. So I think I'm turning the podium over to back to you. Thank you. Andrew, do I need to move this?
Yeah, if you could give it to him.
Okay.
Oh, it's
I
my-
did. You don't mind.
Madam Secretary, thank you very, very much. It's truly an honor, and honored that you would take your time and bring part of your team to Baltimore County to make the award directly. It's pretty wonderful, frankly, that we could finally take down 1990 plaques from our previous successes and now start this new decade with a wonderful award to begin with. Thank you for sharing too your analysis, your understanding of the work that we've done. That shortens my comments tremendously, which is appropriate.
Sorry.
No, I'm glad you did. You did a heck of a better job than I would have done. I'll just say that it is a different approach that I wanted to really congratulate our team for devising. Not unique to us perhaps, but I think we've put a different way of looking at how we have to engage the county going forward. And it really starts, quite honestly, with leadership and a vision from the county executive, who helped us recognize that we have to continually find new ways of addressing what is a changing environment. As the planning director, I'm very proud, really, of the amazing creative work that all of our staff created, not only with the retrofit approach, but even as you pointed out, being able to assemble over 1,000 people and 3,800 comments to really dig into the community and find out what they want to see happen in Baltimore County, or what Baltimore County should be for them in the future. And I want to give a particular shout out to Amy Mante, who's unfortunately not here today, who led and helped coordinate the complex master plan process. Also Jen Meacham, who heads our RAD division, and whose thoughtful approach and really understanding of the use of technologies and best practices in mapping could help us really dig into the data more precisely, so that we could come up with some wonderful new strategies and ideas of what the county should be. And also I want to give her team a shout out. We have some of them here today: Chris Weaver, Austin Broderick, Miles Muhlenberg is not here today. We have two members of the Community Planning Division here as well, Gane Joke, who's Division Chief, Megan Benjamin, who also works on our ag preservation efforts. But I also want to acknowledge Nancy Hafford, who's the chair of our county planning board, because without the support of the planning board and their willingness to go through multiple meetings to dig in on the complexities of the plan, we wouldn't have succeeded. And lastly, of course, I want to thank the county executive for his continuing support, and the elected officials who have stood with us to make this a reality. And Madam Secretary, thank you for recognizing the hard work that Baltimore County has put into this, and our commitment to really sustaining a really manageable growth process. As you said, it is a balancing act. It's a very difficult one. We have the URL for a purpose, and we're committed to that. We are focused on our internal then reuse, redevelopment, refocus, and the retrofitting approach, I think, describes that well. Now I'd like to once again thank the county executive and ask him if he wants to make any comments.
No, you're great. Mr. It's fine. I've got all of the comments are going to be captured. It's great. Madam Secretary, thank you so much for your presence today. I know that I speak on behalf of this entire administration, just say what an honor it is to have you with us. This is actually, as Director Lafferty and I were joking, 2 secretaries in 2 days. We had Secretary Day join our housing team just yesterday. So really excited to be showcasing all the great things that are happening in Baltimore County, because a lot of great things are happening in Baltimore County. We have just tremendous team members, and so to the planning team, congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. We are really so proud of the work that you all do. We wrapped up the work of getting this done and getting acknowledged for it just in time for our comprehensive zoning CZMP process. So our planning department keeps very busy, but we're grateful for the work that you all do day in and day out. Nancy Hafford, thank you for your leadership here in Towson and beyond. Thanks for your stewardship of our planning board. Please extend our thanks to all the members for their thorough and thoughtful review of the plan that was brought forward and through the planning board as well. We also are just grateful that we have such great partners at the state, not just you, Madam Secretary, but also leaders like Delegate Forbes. So thank you, Delegate, for your presence and for your support of the work that Steve and others are leading. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our local partners on the council and the legislative branch. I want to thank Councilman Patoka and Ertel for being here. I think your presence speaks volumes of the importance of a good plan in driving the work that we do. I hope that this award is an affirmation of how much thoughtfulness and time and effort went into developing it, and I'm hopeful that this is promptly introduced and accepted with formal adoption so that we can move forward as our guiding North Star for the years ahead, because I really do think that we're looking at a plan that acknowledges that Baltimore County has changed, that we have to use the data that's in it to revitalize some of our communities. I think that the layers and the thoughtfulness that has gone into identifying our new communities of interest and areas of interest is truly, I think, in many ways groundbreaking, and it's going to really be helpful to us. So again, just my gratitude to you, Madam Secretary, for you and your team for joining us. We're honored by the award, grateful for our partners, and so proud of our planning team. So congratulations again to all, and hope the great work. Thanks. You want to take us home, or that's great.
I think I'm just doing a quick final closeout according to my previous instructions. Which will be quick. Basically, it's just that we're all in this together, and I think the more we can have counties, and work like this happening at the level, and it can be recognized and leading the way. We are here to support you. We're not the government. We're here to help. We are here to support you, do your work, and I just can't think of a better way of acknowledging that good work that sometimes does go unacknowledged. And so we're happy to be here. Another part of this process that we're undertaking is that we're producing short videos, some photos and images from the work that you've done that'll be produced and pushed out after the first of the year, along with the other award winners. And we were talking about doing some webinars and ways to sort of maybe, hopefully not take too much of your time, but a way to further feature the great work that was here, and we'll be announcing these in our planning newsletter also. So all I can do is just congratulate you on work well done. Good luck as you all move forward with those approvals and staying on that North Star track, because that's important. Investments and resources are tight, so I think it's really important to know